Another veteran has blown up something in the United States. This time it was an Army vet blowing up his Cybertruck in front of the Trump Tower in Las Vegas. And we're going to talk about it next on It's Culture. Let's get it. Welcome back to It's Culture Podcast. My name is Mark, and I'm the host of this show where we cover everything from politics to sports to trending topics to what's in the news, because everything that we discuss is culture. If you're new to the channel, you do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can get all the updates. And to everybody who subscribed and who continues to share and like my videos, I appreciate it. To those that you all that comment, I appreciate the comments. I try to comment back every single time. So keep them coming, and I keep these videos coming to you. All right. So, new news in regards to the explosion that happened outside of Donald Trump's hotel in Las Vegas. This time, this was an Army vet. I covered earlier in the week the one in New Orleans, but I wanted to come back to this one because I didn't cover this one earlier when it happened back on New Year's Day. But this man basically took a Cybertruck and ran it right directly in front of the Trump Tower, sat it there, and just detonated the truck and blew up. And a couple people got injured. Luckily, nobody was killed. But he had a unique background. And as we see on the news tonight, in this news clipping, you'll see that this man might have been troubled. So let's go to it. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Major developments in the investigation into the man behind the Cybertruck explosion in Las Vegas. Late today, police saying the driver left behind notes on his phone, detailing his actions and clues to a possible motive. Newly released surveillance video shows Army Green Beret Matthew Livelsberger at a Tesla charging station during his trip to Las Vegas. That chilling video of his final destination, the Trump Hotel. Authorities say Livelsberger died by suicide just before that blast. And they say in the notes he left behind, he railed against the United States, but he held no animosity toward the president-elect. And he wrote, quote, "This was not a terrorist attack. It was a wake-up call."
He said, this ain't a terrorist attack. This is a wake-up call. So something is going on all over the country. We got veterans who are pissed off at the government, not pissed off at the president. And we're going to talk about that part on the back part, but I just wanted y'all to kind of hear what just happened. He's pissed off at the government.
Tonight, authorities saying the highly decorated Green Beret suspected of using explosives to blow up that Cybertruck outside of the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas left behind notes found on his cell phone, providing clues to a possible motive.
And in there, you can read a couple of the excerpts. "We are the United States of America, the best country, people to ever exist. But right now, we are terminally ill and headed towards collapse."
Okay, let's go back to that real quick. I want y'all to see that. "We are the United States of America, the best country, people to ever exist. But right now, we are terminally ill and headed towards collapse." So this man thinks that the country needs help, and we're on the verge of collapse.
Ill and headed towards collapse. "This was not a terrorist attack. It was a wake-up call. Americans only pay attention to spectacles and violence. What better way to get my point across than a stunt with fireworks and explosives? Why did I personally do it now? I need to cleanse my mind of the brothers I've lost and relieve myself of the burden of the lives I took."
He feels guilty about going to war, it seems like. Maybe a conscientious objector.
Officials confirming that 37-year-old Matthew Livelsberger died by suicide just before the explosion. Master Sergeant Livelsberger was on approved leave from his base in Germany. A senior U.S. official telling ABC News there had been no red flags. Authorities releasing these new surveillance images showing him at a Tesla charging station as he made his way from Colorado to New Mexico, Arizona, and Nevada. That Cybertruck rented via the app Turo. Livelsberger pulling into the hotel valet at 7:35 a.m. Wednesday before pulling out, returning an hour later. And then 17 seconds later, the explosion. 7 bystanders injured. Sources say Livelsberger was divorced and had recently remarried, his wife reportedly telling authorities he'd been out of the house in Colorado Springs since Christmas following a dispute over infidelity. And while investigators say they found those notes railing against the condition of the United States, they say the soldier held no animosity towards President-elect Trump.
We've found that the subject held no animosity towards the president-elect. The Army indicates that he likely suffered from PTSD, and we are also aware that there were potential other family issues or personal grievances in his own life that may have been contributing factors.
Investigators scouring the suspect's background, FBI and local police searching this townhome in Colorado Springs. Neighbors stunned.
He seemed normal. His wife is very nice. They just had a baby.
Well, Mary, late today, the sheriff here in Las Vegas saying they are aware of a podcast claiming to have a letter from Matthew Livelsberger mentioning recent drone sightings in the Northeast and claiming that he was being followed by federal investigators. Now, authorities say they're not 100% certain it came from him, but they do believe it did.
All right, y'all. Army veteran, pissed off at the world, pissed off at the government, decides he's going to take a Cybertruck from Colorado, take it to Vegas, make a few stops on the way, and just detonate it and blow it up. I said in my last video, because I'm a vet as well, that I can't see how someone can get radicalized and do harm to other Americans when we took an oath to swear and protect Americans. But I'm starting to kind of see after these two events that we may have a situation where we got some vets that are just pissed off. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because the benefits we get from the VA are crappy when you leave, trying to get an appointment to get seen by a doctor takes forever. It may be 2-3 months before you can get seen unless you go to the ER. Sometimes they don't want to take the insurance. He was on active duty still. So I would say that he was probably missing the camaraderie and the brotherhood like most vets do when they get out, because most of the time you don't really keep up with a lot of the people that you serve with unless you were just real cool with them. But he was still on active duty. He said that it was problems with infidelity. Infidelity is high in the military, especially when you deploy a lot. Spouses tend to step outside the marriage. There's been numerous. I'm talking in the thousands of spouses who were abused or killed because soldiers came home and found them cheating. Not saying that this is the case in this one, but he tends to believe that his new wife, because it's his second wife, was cheating on him. Now, I don't know what happened with the first marriage. Quite possibly could have been the same thing. They said that he may have been dealing with PTSD. If he was, then the Army dropped the ball because they weren't getting him any help. And they're trying to just throw some things at the wall and see if it can stick, like they always do. But if this is a pattern of things that are about to come down the road, then we're in a lot of trouble, people. If there are copycats out there who are willing to take a life for their own greater good, then we're in a lot of trouble. If somebody on active duty can leave their duty station in Germany, come home on leave, commit a terroristic act without any rhyme or reason, we're in a lot of trouble. I don't know what the government needs to do. I don't know if it's the division, if it's all the conspiracy stuff, if it's just fear-mongering. I don't know what it is. But I know the rhetoric that's coming out of Washington, D.C. needs to stop, because people are dying now because of this rhetoric. We've had 2 attacks by 2 who would seem normal Army people, service members, who somehow or another, one got inspired and radicalized by ISIS. Don't know what this one, if he was radicalized by anybody, but he thinks that our country is headed for complete destruction. If that is going on and those voices keep going and there's more and more and more and more of this going on, this is going to be a vicious cycle of deadly attacks being carried out by American citizens on American soil. Bomb making material, all these things. These people are trained on how to do these things. Trained in surveillance, trained in how to map out and case an area so they can know exactly when to attack. This isn't jihadist stuff. These are American citizens doing this. So I think, in my opinion, they need to tone the rhetoric down in Washington, D.C. and try to figure out how to do some bipartisanship and show that they actually can function before more lives get taken at the hands of veterans and military personnel who are pissed off that the government is BSing everybody. What do y'all think? Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. Because this one here got me in a loop. Like I said on my first video when I talked about the New Orleans one, that one had me very, very confused. This one here got me confused. I don't know what's going on, but what I know is this can't continue though. So thank y'all for watching. See you all next time. Until next time, Coach Nation, let's keep it coaching.